prisons and still be in one home or the other. You can be in the hospital and still be under the care of the prison service. And so we want a definitive information from the minister. And if she has indeed been taken there, where is the information not coming from government? If government fails to provide that as we have requested, we will use all the available tools available to us in Parliament to make those inquiries so that the Minister for Interior may be asked those questions to come and provide details to us. But we don't need to trigger that option since government has to be accountable to its people. This is a matter of national interest.
She's in the country, so there's no problem about asking where Sedinam is. If they want to know where it is, it's very easy. They can file a question on the floor of Parliament once we are in Parliament and summon the minister to come to the floor of Parliament and provide the answers to those questions. I think the Attorney General is available. The security agencies who are handling him are there. So the way they can come around to the various detention places or go to a house to see whether she's there or not. And the government has a very good track record in dealing with alleged corrupt persons in this government, and Mahama in particular. Remember Abuga Pele was sent to court by the same appointor. So Sedinam is going to follow suit. If he's able to appeal or do what we are hearing and exonerate herself, fine. If he cannot, she goes to serve.
She has plans to appeal.
That is what the same minority are telling you. She's appealing. Everybody in this country, I said that, look, let's leave people who have indulged in criminal acts after being appointed to face the laws of this country. Let's stay away and allow the judicial system, the Attorney General, and the prosecutors to deal with the case. She has been convicted. They say she's under custody. Whether she's at Nsawam or she's in the house, it depends on what he has told the government or told the security agencies, and they have allowed him to go to wherever they have put him. We don't have authority over that.
Away from Parliament, calls are growing for early prevention, newborn screening, better training for healthcare workers, and stronger measures to end the growing number of sickle cell patients in Ghana. With over 18,000 children born each year with the condition, families continue to struggle with limited support.
Timely medical care for sickle cell disease, one of the world's most common inherited disorders, remains a challenge. Delayed diagnosis and limited access to medication continue to disrupt education, livelihoods, and family well-being. Speaking at the third Sickle Cell Conference, Ghana's envoy to the Caribbean region, Kwesi Dakwa, said sickle cell disease demands urgent action.
For too long, we've treated this as an isolated family tragedy. For too long, it's been pushed into the shadows of global health priorities. Starved of funding and weighed down by cultural stigma, sickle cell disease is a world health emergency. It is an economic drain on our nations. It is a thief of young potential.
The Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esiedu Bekwin, insists that the disease is not a spiritual problem and can be effectively managed.
Annually, there are about 18,000 children that are born with the disease. It does not mean that you are a sickle cell disease patient, you die. No, we have people who have lived even up to the age of 90. It's a disease which is genetic in nature, but there are medicines that are available that will prevent occurrence of or frequency of this crisis. And then I would say that so far as you go to hospital, there are also medicines that are available, like hydroxyurea, that will minimize the complications that will occur.
The Technical Director of Operations at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Hafiz Adam Tahil, admitted that gaps persist.
A faith-based organization will need to up our game in terms of counseling, just in case, there's a situation where there are traits, so that early enough you don't even marry, left alone to produce a baby with sickle cell. And so I'm advising that my fellow Muslims, the imams, when they are counseling for marriage, they should include and advise that they should go for medical checkups. Ministry of Health alone cannot do it all. And so we need collaboration from all angles.
Meanwhile, a national strategy for 2024 to 2028 has been developed, along with new case management guidelines aimed at standardizing treatment across hospitals, clinics, and CHIPS compounds.
Now, for many families in Ghana, dealing with sickle cell disease goes beyond managing painful episodes. It's also a battle against stigma, misconceptions, and limited access to care. Sarah Apenkro tells the story of sickle cell disease and more.
4-year-old Anatella was diagnosed with sickle cell disease at the age of 4. Her father says the journey has been challenging, marked by frequent hospital visits and moments of uncertainty. Today, she's discharged after spending more than a week in hospital following a weather-triggered sickle cell crisis. Anatella remains cheerful despite the challenges.
It is very tough, but you brought the child to the world by yourselves, so you cannot abandon. So at least it's not going to be like this all the time. It doesn't mean that you have sickle cell, that means it's a bad child or a child that cannot survive or whatever. When they go according to the medications, they can still be like strong ones. She's very clever. That is something that encouraged me most.
Her father says he is prepared to do everything possible to ensure she receives the care she needs and enjoys a normal childhood.
I love her so much. Besides, she's the only daughter I have. So I also do anything in my power to take care of her. I only wish that God should help me, that I should have money. If I have the money, whatever I can take her to, I will do within my power.
Sickle cell disease remains a significant public health concern in Ghana. Health experts estimate that about 18,000 babies are born with the condition each year, while nearly 8 million Ghanaians carry the sickle cell trait. Despite years of awareness campaigns, many people remain unaware of their status, delaying diagnosis and treatment.
If you test and your child is found to have it, the sickle cell disease, now there are centers doing newborn screening in Ghana, and if that is not done, Ghana Health Service policy is that from 6 months upward, every child should be tested and know their status. So once the child is picked up and care is started early, they don't tend to develop as much of the stigmata, that is the physical features and the severe complications of the disease, because we are able to pick them up and manage them better.
Although advances in treatment have helped reduce the frequency and severity of sickle cell crisis, access to essential medications and specialized care remains a challenge in many parts of the country.
The management of sickle cell has moved so far. We now have the disease-modifying therapy, hydroxyurea, is one of the game changers here. It doesn't just work like folic acid, it actually goes into the body to change the way that the red blood cell shape is and to stabilize it, and so that has been a major game changer. The issue with hydroxyurea is that even though it's available in Ghana, it is not accessible at all points. It's only in certain hospitals that you may get it. So, for instance, we had one patient come in from Bator, Volta region, just to come and pick medications here monthly and to go back because she does not have a place close by.
Dr. Ajwa Mante also warns that recent weather patterns can trigger sickle cell crisis.
The crises usually have risk factors that trigger them, and one of them is cold weather. And in the rainy season, we have cold weather. So children with sickle cell should be kept warm. That is, wear long clothing, socks if needed, jackets to keep warm. And even in the night, they can wear the trousers and socks well covered to keep them warm. It's also important to protect against malaria.
For families like Anatella's, the hope is that increased awareness, early diagnosis, and improved healthcare services will help transform the lives of thousands living with the condition. Sarah Apenkro, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's focus on some judicial matters, and the Judicial Service of Ghana has moved to clarify circumstances surrounding a visit by Chief Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonny to the camp of the Black Stars in Ghana following public commentary triggered by photographs of his visit. In a press statement issued on 19 June 2026 by the Communications Department of the Judicial Service, The institution explained that the Chief Justice is currently on official vacation and that his trip to Canada was undertaken in his private capacity and entirely at his own expense. According to the statement, the Chief Justice, quote, as a patriotic Ghanaian and keen sports enthusiast, and quote, used the opportunity during his stay to visit the Black Stars camp to offer words of encouragement as the team competes at the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. The Judicial Service further stated the visit was motivated solely by a desire to support the national team and should be viewed in that light. Some more stories on U360, and a former Deputy Defense Minister, Kofi Amankwa-Manu, has described Kennedy Agyapong's claims of stopping his committee from accessing the Afari Military Hospital as baseless. According to Amankwa-Manu, he sat as the chair of the Project Implementation Committee at the Defense Ministry, and never did he cite any request from Mr. Agyapong's committee. He spoke with Williams Evans Inkum.
This time, his committee had wanted to visit Afari, but they were blocked.
It cannot be true. It simply cannot be true, because he was the chairman for the Defense and Interior Committee, and the Defense and Interior Committee has oversight responsibility over the Ministry of Defense, and so it will be something really, I don't know how to put it, but it is something that will even question, the seat on which he sat. Because if as a chairman of a committee with responsibility over oversight responsibility, and then you want to go or come to Afari, I say come because I'm in Kumasi right now, come to Afari, and somebody will prevent you. On what basis would you be prevented? In the first place, the Committee on Health does not have oversight responsibility over the activities of the Ministry of Defense. And yet, when they put in the request to come and visit Afari, the then minister, the Honorable Dominic Nitu, actually accompanied the Committee on Health to Afari. And so it will be surprising that he will prevent his own committee from visiting. And besides, for me, these are records that we can easily check. Because if you want to visit anything as a committee, you write to the ministry that you want to visit. And so the ministry has records. I know the Ministry of Defense has records. People can go and check. The committee as well, the secretariat of the Committee on Defense and Interior, they also do have records. People can go and check to see if indeed the committee wrote to the ministry wanting to come to Afari and they were prevented. That for me can never be true. And for the 4-year period between 2021 to 2024 that I sat in chair as the chairman for the Project Implementation Committee or unit of the Ministry of Defense, there was not even once that I cited any letter requesting members on the Defense and Interior Committee, coming to Afari, let alone to be refused. That for me is something that cannot be said to be true. It is not true.
A humanitarian crisis is unfolding in the Prisia Himan area of the Western region. Over 250 residents have been displaced after days of non-stop rain. The heavy downpour has triggered massive flooding, submerging homes and destroying properties. Irama Smith reports that the assembly member and traditional leaders have stepped in with temporary shelter, even as they await urgent intervention from the municipal assembly.
For days now, the rains have not stopped in Prisia Himan, and for over 250 residents, the result has been devastating. Homes have been inundated, belongings destroyed, families forced to flee to higher ground as flood waters swallowed their communities.
Yet 50 sad at 1 o'clock, it's not Bontiama Ditchin, and in there still one echo one ever. The Edim Puerdene, Gualampontini goes to and your mouth for a good dame, a demon in so.
But I flew a day, dear. And so net me to ye, Adriania Bedio, Atale Besho, but him behind me, baby, and say him from Pona Mother. And I say, young Quale now will be assured than among coast to among yeshi.
But in the midst of this crisis, local leaders are stepping up. Assembly member Yao Bako and the traditional leader are helping provide temporary accommodation for the displaced. Some victims have been sheltered at the Christian Divine Church with others at a local guest house.
Ya kompre amo mo se mama bia nko nsuni o se bo wa o yin nyoma bia nyoma ne nsuni sase ya ba ya ma bia se wontu amanfo hango mo ma ko dan so di aka wase me aka ma aka na fa mi su ya se mama bia nko o se nsuni se o tun di abatan den e de ba o de nyoma beble na nsuni wa hwe na kokko play ewo tiga me de message say e den ko anya se bi ti wa ba ko nsuni mo na hwe bibi ko ye wa na sa ko fa sam fa de. The
displaced families are in urgent need of food, clean water, clothing, and medical supplies.
No more who says, yeah, but I am about Christian, I am about to my boy. Before the baby brother, by video, no way you want cash there. Ebia de, and I'm paying pie better, don't swear. Nina for BBI and Tale BBI, same penny for about no way a funo video and cash, no sense.
Deputy Municipal NADMO Coordinator Emmanuel Sasa says they are working closely with the Municipal Chief Executive to ensure no one is left behind as they find a lasting solution to the problem.
And apart from getting them this relief place to stay, we have also collaborated with the assembly member to get some relief items in terms of mattresses, some food items, and also we have also written to the assembly and individual companies around Christia also to get the information, to access the information to give us some relief items or support that we can use to help the victims over here.
But the community members are growing anxious as they await a response from the Municipal Assembly. The hope is that the Municipal Assembly will act swiftly before more lives are upended. Irama Smith, TV3 News, Christian Himan, Western Region.
We've got more news for you here on News 360. Do stay with us.
us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate, security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all.
On its automotive promise, if policymakers and negotiators do not understand the sector deeply.
Meanwhile, head of development cooperation at the German Embassy, Johanna Klotz, says Africa's growing automotive industry presents an opportunity for the continent to become a significant player in electric vehicle production.
Africa can be more than just a sales market. It can be a production base with regional value chains. And you have even one big advantage over the German industry. By building a car industry focused on electrical vehicles from the start, you could leapfrog and be much more innovative than an industry that needs to reinvent themselves.
Now, the Bank of Ghana has announced a significant 26.6% expansion in total banking sector assets, climbing to 493.9 billion cedis. Speaking on the industry's performance, Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama highlighted a strengthened capital adequacy ratio, which rose to 22.3%. While Dr. Esiama noted that these developments reflect the resilience of the banking sector, the collective efforts of regulatory institutions, he warned stakeholders against becoming complacent.
Asset quality, that has also improved, with the NPL ratio declining from 23.6% down to 18%. Colleagues, these developments demonstrate the resilience of the banking sector, and it reflects the collective efforts undertaken by all institutions, including ourselves, represented right here. Nonetheless, we must not become complacent. Elevated credit risks remain a concern, and banks must continue to strengthen credit underwriting standards. They have to improve recovery processes, and they must comply fully with regulatory requirements that are aimed at reducing non-performing loans.
Now, Standard Chartered Bank Ghana PLC says its 130-year legacy in global banking is now powering its next phase of growth. As part of activities marking the 130th anniversary celebration, they convened regulators, institutional investors, global practitioners, and local ecosystem builders to engage in meaningful discussions and share insights into emerging opportunities.
For over a century, Standard Chartered Bank Ghana has pioneered the development of financial market while initiating several breakthrough innovations. At the Digital Asset Summit, management reaffirmed their commitment to future-fit banking that delivers value to the Ghanaian economy and the citizenry. Jose Goji is the Chief Executive Officer of the company in Ghana.
Across the world and increasingly across Africa, digital assets are redefining how value moves, how capital is raised, and how financial services are delivered. For Ghana, this is more than a global trend to observe. It is a strategic opportunity to help shape the future of finance.
First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zachary Mumuni, said the growing interest in digital assets underscores the need for strong regulatory frameworks to safeguard the financial system.
Through Act 1154, Ghana established a legal framework for virtual asset service providers.
We strengthened cooperation between the Bank of Ghana, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Financial Intelligence Center. Through our regulatory sandbox, we continue to learn, test, and adapt before finalizing long-term frameworks.
Head of Market at Standard Chartered Bank Ghana, Jojo Bannerman, also explained that the bank's strategy is not just about innovation, but also trust.
The regulatory framework is being developed by the regulators. Once that is done, we would be in a position to then partner with our clients to help them solution for the relevant payment ecosystem that would help drive their business.
The bank maintains that Ghana is well positioned to take advantage of the virtual asset opportunity, backed by the right policies and market infrastructure to drive the next era of prosperity.
For the business segment here on News 360, I am Michael Obudu. Up next is sports.
us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmeni, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmeni, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, First in news.
Around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasumeni, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmeni, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappear.
The Africa Incubation Program has rewarded outstanding young creatives with financial support to help grow their projects. Now, speaking at the event, a chief executive officer of the Creative Arts Agency commended the French Embassy for the initiative, noting that the program will help transform the dreams of many young creators into reality.
The second edition of the program attracted more than 400 entries and project submissions from across the country. Following a rigorous selection process, 30 projects were shortlisted, while 17 participants advanced to an intensive boot camp. At the end of the program, 15 finalists drawn from various creative fields, including fashion, music, animation, and filmmaking, received financial packages to support the development and expansion of their projects.
There's so much that we can do as creative, but then funding becomes a challenge, and so we are not able to do as much as we would love to. And so initiatives like this come in very handy, because then it helps bring a lot of dreams to life, if I should say.
As part of the Creation Africa project, 5 selected Ghanaian animation studios will represent the country at the Anti International Animation Film Festival, one of the world's most prestigious animation events. The studios will have the opportunity to showcase their work, network with industry leaders, explore international partnerships, and position Ghana's animation industry on the global stage. Speaking at the event, the Executive Secretary of the Creative Arts Agency commended the French Embassy for the initiative, noting that the program will help transform the dreams of many young creatives into reality, while contribute to the growth of Ghana's creative economy.
Yeah, they made this possible. Yes, encouraging the youth, to do what they love to do. Yes, by rewarding them for their work. I'm very happy as a father of the creatives, and I'll make sure that from next year, at least, we have something like this for ourselves.
Wonderful initiative right there. And that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
Thank you, Noella. Time now to bring you updates from other parts of the world. And Zimbabwe's lower house of parliament has passed a bill to extend presidential terms from 5 to 7 years. This would allow President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in power until 2030. More than 200 lawmakers voted in favor of the draft legislation on Thursday, surpassing the vote threshold required for a 2/3 majority to amend the constitution. The bill also scraps direct presidential elections, with future presidents chosen by Parliament. And Andy Burnham says he wants to lay out a new path for Britain after winning the Makerfield by-election. Speaking to supporters in his new constituency, Burnham says Labour needs to make life affordable again. And that's how we end this edition of News 360. I'm grateful for your company. There's more news on 3news.com and all our socials. Don't forget, Billy Shen is standing by to bring you the pre-match discussions for tonight's game. You want to stay with us? I'm Bernice Abubedu Lansa. Do have a good evening.